I guarantee that anything I say here will be more entertaining than Joker 2.
The following is a world-class Bullshitters exclusive.
Time. I needed time to make this video. It's been a few days since I suffered through Joker 2, and I cannot fully wrap my head around what I watched. Was it a musical? Was it real? Was it all a dream? Did Joker read Word Up magazine? I couldn't care less. Over the past few days, the film hasn't really sat with me. I didn't think about it. I didn't feel the urge to think about it. It was just a waste of time that I didn't enjoy. And it seems to be that way for a lot of people too. But through that disappointment, it might have had a positive, though unintended outcome. Joker Folie à Deux, or as I'm going to call it Joker Deuce because one, I don't speak French, and two, that's what this film was, has an unexpected low score on Rotten Tomatoes, becoming the lowest rated comic book movie ever on the platform. Yes, ever. Not the Marvels, not Captain Marvel, the Eternals, not Shang-Chi, hell, not even The Flash. Yes, even The Flash has a higher score. All of DC does. Now let's take a look at Joker 2's record-breaking critic and audience score. Oof. Joker is truly at the bottom of the barrel. Fans have been highly critical of this film, with many walking out of the theater due to its unconventional structure and tonal shifts from the first movie. Instead of walking out, I fell asleep. That's not a joke. I dozed off twice in Joker Deuce. The inclusion of the musical elements wouldn't have been a problem if they were good, but they weren't. They just kept rehashing the same few songs over and over again. I know there's a theme, I know it's about happiness, control, a fall from power, and a lot more, but if it's not entertaining, none of that matters. I'm pretty sure the singing was intentionally bad too. Lady Gaga can sing, but there's a lot of this film where she's intentionally raspy and sounds sick. Now, speaking of Lady Gaga, both her and Joaquin Phoenix's performance were expected to be the film's saving grace, but they weren't. They were fine performances, but this movie was so bad, I forgot that Joaquin Phoenix won an Oscar for the first film. I literally exclaimed to myself the other day, oh yeah, he did win. That's how much I tried to separate the films mentally. Joker was great. Joker Deuce feels like a bad joke that no one is partaking in. Deuce is also terrible because it makes me rethink the original. Was it really good, or was it the novelty we bought into? That's the real crime, isn't it? A film so bad that it robs the original of its achievements. That's life. Pretentious isn't a strong enough word to describe the film. I don't want to come off as overly hyperbolic, but I can't stress enough just how terrible this story was, and I'm not the only one. I looked online to see what you were all saying out there, and it seems like most fans expected a continuation of the intense psychological drama from the first movie. But instead, we were met with a surreal musical that detracted from the narrative. All of these elements combined made a terrible film, and that contributed to the poor word of mouth and negative review scores across the board. Leonard Maltin called it a waste. Time Magazine and ABC called it rotten, and Men on Film hated it. Joker Deuce is a rare occasion where all classes of people can dump on something together. It's kind of nice that we're not hearing the same old bullshit about review bombing or some overly politicized crap coming from Forbes or the Mary Sue. That's always the go-to for these big budget movies. If they feature a female lead, come from Disney, are mildly gay, or have some other hot button issue, they get defended to the ends of the earth by people who will never watch the film. Well, Joker 2 is led by two straightish white people, doesn't have much to say about current year, and isn't from Disney, so it's acceptable to shit on it. That's a problem for another day, but just keep that in mind. Joker 2 is allowed to fail because it doesn't have the right messaging behind it. That's a huge problem, but that's its own video for another time. There are op-ed pieces all over the internet tearing this movie down. The general consensus is that Joker, once a symbol of chaotic brilliance and deep psychological torment, has been betrayed in Joker Deuce. Now that's a buzzword I refuse to use. Now again, the film is terrible, awful, garbage, but it's not a betrayal. The film's decision to shift away from the dark grounded tone of the first movie and embrace these musical sequences muddies the character and eliminates any complexity. The Joker is no longer the chilling, unpredictable figure audiences were captivated by in 2019. Instead, he's become a caricature of his former self, diluted by the surrealism and artistic experimentation that has left fans feeling disappointed. Fleck is just an asshole. He's the Joker, he's not the Joker, Harley's real, she isn't real. It's all so deep, but the hole is only 6 feet, and you know what to do with a 6-foot hole in the ground. Bury something. Well, society's collectively ready to bury Joker Deuce. The ending sparked outrage, and spoilers if you haven't heard it, but apparently Arthur Fleck wasn't the real Joker the entire time. Now, thankfully, the real Joker appears, kills Arthur Fleck, and then proceeds to carve a smile into his own face, all while we watch Arthur die on the ground. You know what? Maybe this was a betrayal. This film is an example of Warner Brothers' arrogance. The film veered off path of what comic book fans expected, and it delivered a bizarre, musical-infused journey instead of a continuation of Joker from 2019. Fans weren't betrayed, they were ignored completely. What's worse, to be betrayed or to be considered irrelevant? I'll let you decide that. It wasn't just bad enough that comic book fans were ignored, everyone with functioning eyes and ears were ignored. Warner Brothers didn't even consider what viewers actually wanted. They gave us this mess, and it was terrible. Every element of the film was disjointed. It's like trying to use Legos with Playmobil toys. They just don't fit. Joker Deuce was a once-in-a-lifetime film, meaning watching it once was enough for my lifetime. The first one had something interesting to discuss. This film does not. Joker Deuce needs to be flushed, but I just have to get this out of the way. Jared Leto is still worse. I get that people are stunned by how bad Joker Deuce is, but if you think this is a betrayal, but Pimp Joker with gold teeth and face tattoos are on brand, we're not talking about the same character. I can't defend Joker Deuce, but we've been lower with Leto. Respond to this statement below in the comments and tell me what you think. Now, some say that audience expectations for a more traditional comic book adaptation clash with Todd Phillips' experimental direction. First off, I don't think he directed anything. He just turned on the camera and let Joaquin Phoenix do whatever. That's not to say that Phoenix was bad or he made the film what it was, but his shtick that audiences loved the first time has lost its luster. This movie is just so dull. When a movie bombs but critics love it, Hollywood seems to be okay with the failure because the right people are talking about the film. Well, everyone is talking about Joker Deuce, but they're not saying anything positive. Essentially, the studio bet on an artistic risk rather than making something more in line with what people wanted, and it's dying quickly. The box office numbers reflect these challenges. Joker 2 only opened with $40 million domestically, which is less than half of what the original Joker made in its debut in 2019. This underperformance is particularly significant given its ballooning production budget, reportedly nearing $190 million. It's a lot of money for a little bit of film. Though Warner Brothers and Todd Phillips defended this film as a singular artistic vision, the financial returns indicate the risks taken didn't pay off the way the studio hoped. Also, it should have been a bright red flag that they refused to do critic screenings before the film was released. Joker made over $1 billion on a $64 million budget. Joker Deuce is a pricier film that's failing miserably. It's doing so bad that it tarnishes the achievement of the original. Instead of this singular excellent film, we now have a franchise with a garbage part 2. Hopefully we're spared part 3 because unless I need a nap, I won't watch any more Joker movies. And it's a shame too that this is such a bad DC film right in the middle of this brand new DC renaissance. A brand new film universe, new shows. There's actual optimism that we're finally past the crap from the Snyder era. Hopefully this doesn't kill the momentum. Hell, more of these movies and fans won't watch any comic book film. It doesn't matter how much I enjoy Penguin. It doesn't matter how good the new Batman could be. Or that Superman can revolutionize entertainment. If Superman can make audiences believe a man can fly, well, another Joker film will make audiences believe they can cry in disappointment. And hopefully Warner Brothers listens that time. Fans are not showing up, critics are not praising it, and everyone else is skipping it because the musical courtroom drama died with the Hays Code. Today's audience is difficult to read. Gritty films are interpreted as good because a large group of people equate realism to quality. We can thank The Dark Knight for that. It was the first superhero film to gross $1 billion, and everything that followed had to be dark and gritty. It's not like the Batman universe is full of ghosts, monsters, aliens, and other supernatural elements. No! We need to keep chasing the Nolan high. Joker got lucky in 2019 because it was different and it was good. Check out our old reviews for what we thought back then. But this is a horse of a different color. If we're going to make a Joker musical, it should be read as a live-action cartoon. It should be self-aware, bombastic, and over-the-top. And it should actually be funny, not a commentary on society, mental health, the justice system, or anything topical. A gritty musical appeals to no one. Musical crowds are older and want escapism. Comic book fans like either gritty films, violent comedies, or big-budget spectacles that stop to make jokes every 10 minutes. I am a comic book fan. I make them myself, and I enjoy a lot of these movies, but not Joker 2. No, sir. I slept, and that never happens. I couldn't sleep through the Star Wars sequel trilogy if I tried. Ultimately, Folie à Deux, again, Joker Deuce, showcases the difficulty at recapturing the lightning in a bottle that was Joker 1. While Joker was a cultural phenomenon, the sequel's ambitions to push boundaries alienated everyone, both critics and viewers alike. It stands as a cautionary tale in Hollywood about the perils of straying too far from what made the original film successful, or simply put, know your audience. Expectations are a mofo, and when you adapt something beloved, you have to remember that the character means something different to a lot of people. Not every Joker needs to be a genre-defining moment. I long for the day when Joker is just a Batman villain again. We can have a great Joker, Batman saves the day, and that's it. We need to stop trying to make the Joker the star. It worked once, but never again. Some fans are tired of the Joker being a symbol. He's the Joker. Everything he says is a lie anyway, so why are his origins so explored? That's the beauty of the character. You don't know who he is, where he comes from, or what he's telling you can be trusted. Now, there's one thing I want everyone to remember about this channel. While I may talk about pop culture in a scathing way at times, there is a positive slant to everything I do. I end every video, with be excellent to each other because entertainment is a grand, unifying experience, and that's why it's so important to preserve it. Not to keep people out, but to make sure it's quality and make sure that the audience expects that quality. And if there's anything positive about all of this Joker experience, it's the unity created by the disappointment. Male, female, black, white, red, or green, everyone hates this movie. Unity is often a powerful force, bringing together large groups of people to achieve a common goal or express shared sentiments. That sentiment? Joker sucks. Fans of all different backgrounds, whether they're die-hard comic book fans, film enthusiasts, or even casual moviegoers, have found a common ground in their criticism of this film. This type of unity highlights the importance of collective voices in shaping cultural conversations. Even when people come from different walks of life, shared reactions to widely discussed media can bring them together, proving that unity doesn't always come from positivity. It can also stem from shared dissatisfaction. In the case of Joker 2, fans from all corners have gathered in critique, creating a fascinating example of how polarizing pieces of media can lead to unification in unexpected ways. In another way, it seems like Joker got what it fucking deserves. So folks, what do you think about Joker 2? What do you think about the conversation about Joker 2? Let me know down in the comments below. Before we go, hit that thumbs up button, share the video if you wouldn't mind, and all you have to do is hit share and copy, and that counts as a share. So if you could do that small thing that would only take 3 to 5 seconds, you'd be helping this channel in greater ways than you can possibly imagine. So folks, unify together down in the comments below. Let me know what you think about everything. And hopefully, you can maintain some of that sanity and regain the time lost by watching Joker 2. If you want to hear a fun podcast review of it, make sure you check out episode 418 of the WCBS Live Show. We go live every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And tomorrow we go live as well at 9 o'clock. So make sure you join us for that. You know we're going to talk about this and a whole lot more. We are world class, we are the epitome of pop culture, and we're your #1 destination where fans can hang out and get involved in the show. So folks, get involved with all of our live shows. We need you guys to make them truly world class. But until then, folks, be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other. Stealing Solo asks the greatest what-if question of all time. What if a group of disgruntled Star Wars fans kidnap Harrison Ford and force him to remake Star Wars in their basement? That, and a whole lot more, is answered in Stealing Solo, a Captain's Parody. Stealing Solo has been called Laugh Out Loud Funny and the greatest Star Wars parody since Spaceballs, and it's available now for a limited time only. Go to stealingsolo.com, which is powered by Shopify, so you get the reward-winning safety and security, and get yourselves a copy today. Once we sell through this limited backstock, I'm going back to the drawing board to bring you the sequel, which parodies Luke Skywalker's fall from grace, and finally the closing chapter, which I can't wait to get to, Frankenfisher, the Bride of Solo. And yes, it's exactly what you think it is. So folks, the only way to get that is go to stealingsolo.com right now, get yourselves a copy, and enjoy the greatest Star Wars parody since Spaceballs.